Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon. I'm a member here at Volunteer Park Church. And the way I became an Adventist is really, you could say by accident, because it really was an accident. I was raised Catholic, and I was very big into racing boats. And I ended up in a bad accident way back in 1989. And a long story short, really, is the nursing staff that took care of me in Olympia was really kind. When I left, I wrote a thank you note to the whole nursing staff, and one nurse wrote back and said, "Oh, hope you're doing well," and we essentially became pen pals. And several letters, as you would say, later, she started asking about religion and all that. And she introduced me to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And why do Catholics do this? Why do Catholics do that? And I had no answer. It's just kind of the way you're raised, right? And so, but the interesting thing is she could back up every question she had with biblical verses of like, well, we do it this way because, and she'd go to some verse. So I became interested in that and ended up going to a Revelation seminar, I guess is what it's called, by then a fellow named Ken Cox. And anyway, I went through that whole thing and I became very interested in Bible truth, as you would call it, and finally decided to go attend a church. Well, it was a startup church at the time, and I got to this great big building, and they ushered me into a little conference room with about 8 people, and I'm thinking, wow, what is this? You know, because I come from this cathedral type settings of the Catholic Church, and of course, no pastor. So we had some video of something business related for the sermon. So I said, all right, I'll give him another try. Went back a week later, no pastor. And kind of disappointed at this point, but I said, and this has to be God speaking. Give him one more chance. So I went back a third week, and sure enough, Pastor Carl Hafner was there. And from then, we scheduled meetings and became good friends, actually. We were really neighbors and golfing buddies. And to this day, I follow him, and he's down in Loma Linda with my daughter in med school. And that's kind of my story.